So I figure that most of the videos that you guys like to watch are kind of like how-tos and discussing the whole disability thing, and figured I would do this. Sorry, but numb on how to deal with being in the hospital, like your time spent in the hospital, and it can get really boring, as most of you hopefully already know, and it's a lot of downtime and a lot of waiting for a nurse and a doctor and your PT and your OT and physical therapy, occupational therapy. But, well, thankfully most of us have laptops and most hospitals have free internet access. And so I do that, but when I was first in the hospital, I tended to watch a lot of TV. We paid for me to get all the channels and everything like that. Some guys changing the trash. And so I watched a lot of TV, but they also, thankfully, when I first lost my arm, even though I was 20, the PEDS unit came up to me and they brought me in a TV and movies that I could rent, and they gave me a laptop, but they just chained it to the bed so no one could steal it. I decided to bring a laptop, just surf the web, watch a lot of YouTube. Really, a lot of what I like to do when I'm in the hospital is talk to other people, because they tend to be really interesting. The nurses, the doctors, and the other patients. And I actually have more fun with the people that a lot of others wouldn't really like because they're annoying or they talk too much. Or one time in the ER, I was just sitting there waiting, and there was this extremely drunk guy who had to be chained to his bed directly in front of the nurse's station. He kept yelling and screaming and carrying on, and so I went up and just started talking to him, and he immediately calmed down, and I sat there with him for like an hour. And when I finally had to go back to my bed, because they want you to sit down when they give you your morphine, but when I had to leave, the nurses were like, I really wish that we could just keep you here because he's been such a pain, and thank you for calming him down. And I was like, oh, sure, I don't mind. I love talking to people. I enjoy it so much. I get like my own personal high just by being around other people. I'm very personable, so that's kind of fun. And it's fun, all the people that you meet too, especially if you're in the hospital for a very long time. You get to know a lot of the people because they're there and you see them all the time. And I mean, I've had wheelchair races down the hospital hallway, and I accidentally ruined the end of Harry Potter to my occupational therapist. Well, that Dumbledore died. Spoiler alert. I felt really bad about that one. Her name was Ellen. It had fun with so many people and got to know so many people. My nurses loved me. So I think, alright, how to deal with being in the hospital because of all the downtime. TV, computer, talk to people. And bring a book. I used to bring Harry Potter in the hospital with me, so bring a book that you like. I mean, there's not really a lot you can do. When I'm at home, I just pretty much sit on the computer or watch TV, so hey, at least you're here with other people that you can talk to, and you're not like just sitting there by yourself or anything. And get a lot of visitors. because you're going to get bored and you're going to want to talk to somebody, and if they're not letting you leave or anything like that, then yeah. Sometimes they fall asleep too. But I think for the most part, as long as you make it fun, then you're not going to have a bad experience in the hospital. When I was first in the hospital, I hated it and I wanted to leave so bad. I didn't want to be there. I I mean, who originally likes to be in a hospital? But then when they told me about a month and a half into that stay that they were going to discharge me, that's when I freaked out. And that's when I really didn't want to leave, because I had gotten used to people taking care of me and someone like a nurse or a doctor who knows what to do to be there if I push a button, and they'll be there right away. And I thought, well, what's going to happen if I go home and something happens? No one's there, and the hospital is an hour away. So then I started liking the hospital. And ever since then, every surgery I've had thereafter, I have loved it. And it hasn't bothered me. I'm not normally patient. I'm really not patient. No. I hate sitting and doing nothing. But for some reason, the hospital, maybe I'm just used to it. I'm certainly not used to being bored in my own regular life, but I don't know. I think it's just all about the way that you need to think about things. So just try to always be positive and just train your brain to do that, because if you expect to have a negative experience, that's what's going to happen. So you just need to learn to think the hospital is here to help you. It may not seem like it sometimes, but I've always come out on top. I mean, I haven't been upset with anyone in the hospital. Okay, a couple people, just because they were being stupid. But yeah, for the most part, it's all been pretty good. So just train your brain. All right.